because he fell in your lap. You have enough offense. I know what Jerry's thinking, Skip, and Jerry thinks that he won all these Super Bowls because the most recognizable faces were on the offensive side of the football, the triplets. He had Emmett, he had Troy, he had Michael Irvin. But let me tell you who Jerry's D linemen were. They were Leon Lett, Charles Haley, Tony Tolbert, Russell Maryland, Jim Jeffcoat, and Jimmy Jones.
I know, I covered the team.
And you remember what they did to Jim Kelly out there in Pasadena? 59-17. 59-17.
They mostly did that to the Buffalo defense, but go ahead.
Yeah. But, Skip, Jim didn't have a chance to throw the ball.
He was good in the first half. That was a close game at halftime, and then the floodgates.
And then they had James Washington, Darren Woodson, Robert Jones, and Godfrey Miles, all those guys at linebacker. Skip, they were loaded on the defensive side of football. First of all, let me take that back. They were a loaded football team. But, Skip, the defense. Jerry, did you see what your defense did? You gave up 300 yards in a... Skip, this ain't Oklahoma. The teams are not supposed to run for 300 yards.
308 by Cleveland.
Yes, and Lamar-led team had 294, and they started taking knees, or they'd have been over 300.
Arizona had 200+, Washington had 200+.
Skip, don't you want to stop somebody? I get it, Jerry. So my question to Jerry, do you really want to win the Super Bowl, or do you want to say, I got the greatest show on turf? Because that's what it looks like you want to say.
I agree.
Because if you just think you're going to outscore people and win a championship, it's not going to happen, Skip.
Yeah.
Because if you look at all the teams, look at the highest scoring offenses in NFL history and find out how many won a Super Bowl. Let's go back to the Patriots, the 2007 Patriots. Let's go look at the 2013 Broncos. Let's go look at the 83 Washington football team. High scoring, 550+ points, 600 points.
Go back and look at Dan Fouts' San Diego Chargers, Air Coryell.
Skip, you got to stop people.
Yep.
Do I believe if Kyle Pitts falls to him at 10, he'll take him? Absolutely, I do. But I believe he would be better served getting a corner. Take Michael Parsons if he's there, the Penn State outstanding linebacker. That's what I would do, Skip. But I think Jerry would box office, score 40. Skip, what good is 40 if you lose?
Well, if Atlanta scores 39, you're good, right?
Exactly.
That's what happened.
Exactly.
Thanks to the miraculous onside kick, the watermelon kick.
Yes.
Okay. For the record, I told you a good 2 months ago, sitting right here, that Kyle Pitts will be better at his position than any of the quarterbacks will be at the quarterback position.
Yeah.
That's how highly I regard him. And yet, he's not a quarterback, so you have to factor that in for how high he's going to go. But I told you 2 months ago, if he did fall to Dallas, I'm like, don't even hesitate. You have to take him because he's a transcendent player, and you have agreed he is that guy.
Yes.
And I don't even know if he's a tight end. He's some hybrid. He's Megatron.
Yes.
And at his pro day, his wingspan measured longer than Megatron's. His hands are bigger than Megatron's. And he ran 4.44 at 6'5", 245. And his football speed, to my eye test, looks faster than he times in the 40 because he just runs by everybody.
Yes.
Alabama could not contend with him.
No.
They sick two players on him. They could not guard him. He's unguardable. Great hands, soft hands. He's the next level of whatever that. You could split him out wide. You could put him in slot. You could have him line up in tight. You could do anything.
With a tight end going. What you see, what they do with Kelsey, what they do with Darren Waller.
Yes.
He reminds you of those guys.
He does.
He's not as cumbersome as Gronk. Gronk is probably more more bumper cars running to you. This guy's fluid, shifty hips, can drop his hips, get in and out of breaks. Yeah, he's the real deal, Skip.
Okay. So if he did fall all the way to 10. This is just me. I told you then, you have to take him. Now, you can argue, hurry, step right up, the greatest carnival barker in the history of football. Jerry Jones will say, come on, come all to see my Cowboys. Tune in to see my Dallas Cowboys because we are the greatest show on any kind of grass or turf.
Jerry Wayne Barnum.
That's what he is. He's that guy. And you're right. He would sell that, but he's so good, you'd have to take him. Well, here's why I don't have to worry about this. He ain't falling to no 10th in the draft. I'm sorry, he's just not. He's too good. So Jerry, according to the report, the ESPN report, I think it was Chris Mortensen, said that he has had some talk or thought or game planning about trading up for Kyle Pitts. Now I'm out because you would have to pay a quarterback's ransom to go up to a quarterback slot to get Kyle Pitts. Well, he doesn't play quarterback.
Right.
So I have an issue with that.
You giving up 20, 22, and 23 first rounders for that?
Because he's going to go up in there. They're 10th, obviously.
Right.
Well, he'll go in there. I don't know where, but I wouldn't be shocked. I kept telling you, if the Jets are going to keep Sam Darnold, they have to take Kyle Pitts at 2, but they said no. So they're going to take a quarterback. So the quarterbacks are going to go, and then starting with the Bengals, you say you need to take that Penei Sewell from Oregon, the best offensive lineman. Well, can you not take Kyle? You can't not. You have to take Kyle Pitts. So he's going to go before 10. So for Jerry, if he tries to pull off some quarterback-like deal where you have to pay part of Fort Knox of what's left of your draft picks to go up to 5 or 6.
But how many times, Skip, that's not something Jerry normally does.
He does not do that. No. I mean, he would have done it for a quarterback. If they had not been able to sign Dak, I think he might have tried this.
Skip, but you look at the Super Bowl in the 90s, they had top 5 defense. They ranked 5th, 2nd, and 3rd in scoring defenses in those 3 Super Bowl winning years. Now, where did their defense rank last year in scoring? You ain't winning. It's hard to win a Super Bowl, Skip, when your defense is ranked in the 20s. It's hard. It's hard. It's virtually impossible.
Okay, so I have already penciled in from the start Patrick Surtain.
Right.
That is the wisest buy. It makes all the sense in the world, which often...
It's a need position, and you don't have to give up anything to get it.
You do not. And I think he's a young stud whose father played at a high level in the league. He is well taught. He's a bigger corner. He's got everything that I would want in bloodline and in durability and ball skills. He's a leaper. He gets his hands on a lot of footballs.
Yeah, because, Skip, you look at Galladay, you look at Slayton. Those are big receivers for the Giants.
Yeah.
So you got to match up with that.
Okay, I got it. Now, some people think your Denver Broncos might snatch Patrick Surtain at 9. So I don't know which way they're going to go. They may have to go quarterback if one falls to them. But the point is, I didn't watch Caleb Farley enough, the Virginia Tech corner, but he's highly regarded. Some people like him more than Surtain. But you would have to go corner at that point.
The cornerback from South Carolina,
JC,
Horn. Skip, he's bigger.
He's Joe Horn's son, right? Yeah.
He's bigger, he timed better, and he has a bigger wingspan than all these guys.
Okay, I just like when your father played. I just like it because
you look at Antoine Winfield Jr.
You just translate. It mattered to me that your big brother played. It just mattered.
Because Skip, you're out there and the father, he's working with his son. Because normally what you're going to see, if a father played and they work with his son, you're going to see exquisite technique.
Yeah.
That's what you're going to see. Okay.
So I hark back to the 2016 draft. I'm over here beating the table for Joey Bosa. I was actually still at the other network, but the point was...
In 2016?
Yes, they shocked me. Jerry shocked me because he took Ezekiel Elliott because he was still sitting there at number 4, but Joey Bosa had just already gone to the Chargers.
I believe he would have took Bosa had Bosa been there.
Okay, but he already had Darren McFadden, who had just run for over 1,000 yards, which he wasn't great. He was a great college player, but he had 2,000-yard seasons to his credit at that point, and I thought, we're okay there. We're okay. So what do we need Ezekiel Elliott for? Because he was, for a while, transcendent. The first 3 years, he led the league in rushing. And he made Pro Bowls in 3 of his first 4 years. And he had the one 2017 where he got suspended.
I think Jerry was looking at it like, 1,000 yards is good, but behind this offensive line, you should get 1,500.
Okay.
Because everybody else, DeMarco Murray, Skip,
he had just 2014.
He got an 1,800 behind this offensive line. So that's an 800-yard gap. So Jerry's looking at it like, man, look at Ty Smith dominating, Zach Martin dominating, Travis Frederick dominating. Oh, no, we need more than 1,000. And we believe this kid, after what he had done at Ohio State the past 2 years, he can come in and give us 1,500. And right on cue, he gave you 1,600 and missed the final game of the season.
Okay. So that was called strengthening your strength because it wasn't, I put quotes around strength, but you just went up a whole couple of grades on that, on Ezekiel. So here's what I think Jerry has in his back pocket. In case that Kyle Pitts falls to 10, I believe that he's already been making potential side deals for Michael Gallup, who's in his final year of his rookie contract, and he's going to want to get paid.
Yes.
So I think even on draft night, they would have a deal.